Well, a chuir gael há fáilte ó go dtí páirc na Geilteach an sa I gcathair a chuile the cléthe olmhóir a duine an foireann baile in aig Carlow. You're all very welcome to Celtic Park here in Derry City for the TG4 All-Ireland Junior LGFA Championship Group A match. And round 2 already, a wet and blustery day here by the foil. This afternoon it's kind of swerving from left to right and then from right to left, but we'll put in conditions today, wet underfoot as well and a bit boggy around the goals. Might put in things this afternoon, but hopefully a good game of football as the travelling Carlow team made their way up this afternoon in those blustery conditions. It got sunny now and again as well, so hopefully these conditions will clear off and we'll have a fine game of football. We'll go through the two teams this afternoon, and in round 2, before we forget, Carlow with a good win just last week, and London versus Derry cancelled, so London got the points there. So this is Derry's first outing this afternoon, and Carlow had a good win against Fermanagh by 4 points, 1-9 to 1-5 last week in Brewster Park. We'll go through the teams now, starting with Derry. My co-commentator Martina McCafferty is just after coming in here from other duties, and she might give us a bit more info on these, especially a very young team today for Derry, starting off with Thomasina Cassidy in goal, Joanne Corr, Anna McDade and Cassie Loughran making up the full back line, Aoife Borman, Orla McCloskey and Leah Casey in the wings, and Cuivan McCloskey and Ava Mullen inside midfield. Up on the forward line this afternoon for the Derry team, Rihanna Curran, Clodagh Moore and the captain Nuala Brown, and inside the full forward line, Cuiva Dillon, Liam McGonigal and Amy Rose Mulligan. How are you today, Martina? What do you think of this Derry team?
Very good, Ariel. Pleased to be here in this wet, gorgeous Celtic Park. The very young Derry team out today, mixture of youth and experience. So really looking forward to seeing how some of them match up to the Carlow team today, who is also made up of a experience and youth as well. So it'll be interesting to see how the matchups work. So no, really looking forward to the game, and it's a really great opportunity to give young Derry players a run out in an important championship fixture. So looking forward to it.
It certainly is. So we'll just go through the Carlow team there and get up the graphics free. Under Ed Burke, inside in goal Nicole Hanley. Number 2 this afternoon is Niamh Murphy and her fullback Una Fitzpatrick beside Antoinette Downing. The captain lines out at number 5 this afternoon, Ruth Birmingham, with her centre back Eden Atkinson and Nuala Mahan making up the centre back line. Inside in midfield, number 8 Elaine Ware lines out beside Roisin Bailey. At number 10 Orla Hickey, Even Gilmartin at number 11 and Rachel Sawyer at number 12. Sarah Doyle 13, Sinead Hayden at 14, and in a corner forward this afternoon Niamh Kelly. As we were saying there, Carlow with a good win against Fermanagh just last week, 1-9 to 1-5, a nice 4-point win from them. They played very well in the first half. Fermanagh with a bit of a comeback, but Carlow sewing things up then in the last few minutes. Derry, as we just talked about there earlier, conceding to London this afternoon, but we'll stop now for Aronovian, which I think is playing. Okay, so all ready to go here. Again, mucky conditions might put in things beside the goals this afternoon. It's kind of 4 seasons in one day out there today. I'm not sure which way the wind is blowing. It's blowing from left to right now as we look out, but we'll keep an eye on that. Martina, any other thoughts before today? I think myself, it's terrible to say, but I think Carlow have probably the best chance this afternoon. I know you as a proud Derry woman will say very different. But do you think there's any chance for Derry? Or
yeah, I think the conditions might work in Derry's favour today. Just given that it's very heavy underfoot and the wind will play a factor. But I think Carlow definitely have had an advantage because there's no junior championship in Leinster, so they had to play up. So I think that's given them a really good opportunity to play against better teams, and I think it certainly worked in their favour against Fermanagh in the last run out. I was chatting to a few Carlow colleagues during the week, and they were saying that. So yeah, they might have the edge here, but I wouldn't rule Derry out in terms of grit and determination. I mean, they had a great run out against a tougher opposition earlier in the league game. So let's see how it unfolds. Looking forward to the individual matchups, though.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. The last time we saw Derry play, the two of us were watching them play versus Fermanagh, and Emer Smith and Blauhin Bogue played a stormer that day
right.
for Fermanagh. They played excellently. It was hard to do anything to stop them. So hopefully a changed team under Rita Hannigan this afternoon, and all to be seen now in a few minutes. I know Carlow were buzzed up. They came up last night in the bus. Expensive enough trip. Stayed up here last night. Hopefully they stayed off the bottle. I'm sure they did. Fine professional team that they are. And
I think they did.
I'm sure they did. So all lined out. We have to get the lines drawn again. The rain has been so bad on the pitch here that apparently the white lines were washed off the pitch over the last 3 or 4 days. So fresh bit of paint put down beside the goals, which should help.
Literally.
Yeah,
Just
literally
there now.
fresh paint. Yeah, just a few minutes beforehand.
Maybe a bit of white on the shorts today.
I'm sure there will. But we're getting ready to go here. All thrown in 1 minute past 2 o'clock, collected here by the Carlow corner forward Sarah Doyle and pumped in low. Bit of space here for Rachel Sawyer to get maybe an early score. She turns her marker, she's in on goal as well. She has an opportunity to go herself, and she does. Well, what about that for a first goal there? Rachel Sawyer turning her marker, getting in the first 30 seconds of the match and going for goal. Plenty of intent here from Carlow this afternoon. We weren't expecting that, but marking there from the Derry backs. A bit of a shell shock there. They'll want.
Yeah, they'll have to regroup now based on that. Now that Rachel Sawyer has a sister who's a 200 metre and 400 metre sprint champion for Ireland, so she's a speedy. I think speed runs in her family, so just need to keep an eye on her today. She'd be one of their dangerous players.
Yeah, good genes on show there. Does
Absolutely.
well. Thomasina Cassidy trying to steady the ship with a nice kick out there, but it's Carlow who collect, and they'll come in a wave up the field, coming through the hands of Orla Hickey this time. She sends it back, and they'll want to build now through Elaine Ware, who has a bit of space here in the middle of the pitch. She sends a nice ball out here in the wing, and again loose marking from Derry. Fumble there from Sarah Doyle, but still had time to pick it up again with the Durn. Brings it into the centre of the pitch again, collected by Ware. Ware now with a bit of space. She's looking for an option side. She gets a shoulder instead, brought to ground, and a free here for Carlow, who'll have a chance to get their sharpshooter up for a first chance at points this afternoon. And it's Sarah Doyle, number 13 for Carlow, who'll step up. Not sure which way the wind is blowing now at the moment. It might be blowing a little bit against her from left to right, which might put in things here quite a bit of a distance out, but Sarah well able, I'm sure, to throw this over the bar. Falling low, wind catching it. Derry catching it in goal, put under a bit of pressure here. We'll play advantage, we won't, we'll come back.
Derry.
Solid defending there. Derry look to build, maybe get inside the Carlow half for the first time, but passes like that won't help. But under pressure here, Carlow would like to put pressure up here in the forward line. Derry won't come out easy.
Up there,
they certainly are.
Yeah.
So Derry under pressure so far early in this match. Pressure showing again there, being blocked down is Aoife Boorman. But a nice turn over the head there, collected lovely by Rihanna Kern.
Derry playing their usual through the hand football, which always works in their favour.
Ball comes down the pitch there, and just when we were saying goes through the hand, the one from the leg goes out over the sideline.
Conditions are very tough out there. I think the ball's very sloppy, so there might be a number of mistakes out here today, so have to keep an eye on that.
Certainly will. Derry may be looking to press themselves a bit, but ball collected easy enough by the Carlow captain Ruth Birmingham this afternoon. Sends the ball out the wing, out towards us here, and Antoinette Downing collects again. Plenty of space, beautiful ball up here for a Carlow girl. That Carlow girl is the sharpshooter Rachel Sawyer, who will aim to collect again. Now has a bit of space, she might go for goal as well. The space is there for if she wants it. Rachel Sawyer in on goal. Is she going to go herself? She is, in a rasper of a shot into the top left corner there. What a goal from herself. A beautiful goal there for Carlow, and well, 2 goals now in the space of maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and it's looking tough here for Derry already this afternoon. Maybe a bit of loose marking there.
Absolutely, they're going to have to tighten up on. They might need to put a second player on.
Even a sweeper in front of goal might be the thing to do here. This onslaught continues though as Carlow come again through the hands, looking for space. Might be happy with a point on the left this side. And I think that goes over the bar. It certainly does. The point is given.
Yeah.
Carlow now 2-1 to no score. Sawyer getting her first point this afternoon. Had a bit of space, happy to take it on the left and the right, this girl. A beautiful point coming from her. Thomasina Cassidy now will look to relieve a bit of pressure here. Derry happy to go long. I think the wind is behind them now at the moment, and she might be happy to relieve pressure by thumping one out to the 45 here. But I think going to fall into it, the hand of a Carlow woman again, and that Carlow woman is Sinead Hayden. She sends in a nice low darn into Elaine Ware. Elaine now is looking for options. She'd be happy to send it back. Plenty of space here for Carlow. They look to go crossfield as well. Plenty of time here for Carlow to collect the ball. Sinead, or Sarah Doyle at the ball now. She's put under a bit more pressure than was done before.
That's a lovely pass.
Beautiful pass in. Another chance here for Carlow.
And another score.
And another score. Well, 2-2 now in the space of 5 or 6 minutes.
Carlow on a mission here, Ariel.
They certainly are putting scores on the board there. Orla Hickey, the number 10 for Carlow with that score there. And Derry at 6s and 7s really when it comes to the marking the back. I think they've taken an extra girl back just to maybe relieve that pressure.
Yeah, I think they have a sweeper on there. Not too sure what the number is.
No, I think it's needed.
Looks like Leah Casey, number 7.
So a few words being said here. I think Thomasina Cassidy maybe feigning a bit of injury, but getting a bit of advice maybe from the physio here about kickouts, because kickouts not going well. The vast majority have been lost, won by Carlow, and the pressure is mounting again against that wind as well, Martina.
Yeah, I think Derry might need to play a short ball here just to get a bit of ball in their hands. They haven't seen much of the ball at all.
And they've done
in
well.
The first 10 minutes, yeah. So
when they go through the hands, they can do well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they need possession.
Yeah.
Now Joanne Corr with a bit of space out here in the corner. They go short this time. It might work out better. No, just over the sideline there. Joanne Corr not getting it to in time. A quick ball in, but the Derry numbers are back this time. But it somehow falls to a Carlow woman. That Carlow woman's Elaine Ware. Elena look to build now from here. There's a wave of 3 girls coming up through the centre. The other's her midfield partner, Bailey. Bailey now with a bit of space. Hand pass across. Don't know how that made it across, but it did. But pressure being put there by Derry.
Good interception.
Doing well. Falls out to Doyle. Doyle now with a chance for her first point.
That's better defending from Derry. Yeah, well done.
And the first wide of the match from Carlow against wind. They're doing very well. 2 goals and 2 points and no wide up until then against a strong wind. So Carlow showing their class now this afternoon so far. Derry with a lot to do, but they haven't had the ball, Martina. They haven't had much of a chance. And
no. And chatting to folks during the week, they were telling me that Carlow's bench is as strong as their starting 15. So you'll see some of them coming on as well. So yeah, Derry. Well, Derry's got the ball now, so let's see what they can do with it. It's good pace. It's good pace from, is that Nuala Brown, their captain?
Certainly is. Yeah, collected there by Nuala Mahan from Carlow, and Carlow will come again. There's a wave of defenders there, 5 or 6 Carlow women now who break out at quite a bit of speed as well.
Yeah, they do break at pace, don't they?
Derry are coming back as well. They want to put pressure on Ware here, and they do.
That's good. That's good regrouping from Derry. They're going to need more men behind the ball, though, I think, Ariel, just to try and manage this onslaught. Yeah,
and Sarah Doyle left free again there. You can't leave her free. Very dangerous. Another dangerous woman coming through here, and that's Sawyer, who already has a goal and a point. Oh, just to the right and wide. She was looking for her second of the match. And really, Derry very lucky there. Sawyer and Doyle causing all the problems for that Derry backline in the first few minutes there. They're not being marked. They're not being picked up. They're left free. And they're getting opportunities, but again, with that pace, very hard to stop.
Yeah, I think Thomasina might have put her off there. She made herself look big and stuff, so might have worked in her favour.
She did a beautiful kick out as well, but just not collected by the Derry woman there. And Carlow will come again, and again Doyle not picked up. She has a bit of space. She gets it on the right, then she gets it on the left. There's a bit of pressure coming on her. Oh, well, she overran it that time. I don't think she did myself, but the referee blowing there against, and give a bit of a chance for Derry to clear their lines. The better defence there too coming in on Doyle, putting a bit more pressure than they had done in the first few minutes.
Might develop Derry's confidence a bit if they keep hitting wides like that. Sarah Doyle is, I think, the youngest member of the Carlow team, Ariel, so she's just new in, so they're very excited about her. So yeah,
there's no lack of confidence anyway, that's for sure.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. That's what you love to see.
Now another ball collected from Joanne Corr there, so obviously targeting Joanne there, who has a bit of space out the corner. And she looked to build now. Beautiful.
That's a lovely crossfield ball. Lovely.
A bit of space for Derry. They have the overlap as well. Lochran now with the ball. She'll give back Derry with numbers inside. They are looking for the score as well.
Yeah.
They're not playing defensively. They're looking to come.
Although
They
Carlow were packing their defence there. That's really good defending from Carlow.
Great defence, especially from Atkinson, who put massive pressure. But Derry get their first chance. That one goes to the left.
Just wide.
And wide, but huge pressure coming from that Carlow defence, especially the centre backs there, and especially from Ed and Atkinson, not making it easy there on Derry. And their first chance will go to the left and wide. I'm not sure who took that effort in the end.
That was Leigh Casey from Steelstown Club. Yeah, it was just wide. But at least they're getting up the pitch now, so that'll give them a bit of confidence.
They certainly are. They kept it in hand there. They kept the fist pass going, and it worked quite well. Maybe a bit too far out. But with that wind as well, she might as well have gone for it. We'll see now, can Derry put a bit more pressure on this kick out. They're looking to put pressure on the forwards. There's two Carlow women in the centre of the pitch unmarked, but I know that I think it's Ava Mullen there getting checked out. It's not. It's Leah Casey getting checked out. She'd have to turn around and mark up now.
Yeah, she's just back from injury too, so you'd be wary when you see the physio coming out to Leah. So hopefully she's okay.
Hopefully she is. But
great field.
Follow the ball. Great catch there.
Young Eva Mullen.
Brilliant, and great
brilliant.
strength there from McCloskey. I think she might be given it for charging there.
Yeah.
I think Orla Hickey took a bit of a bash there, but
Ariel, the referee, is Declan Rice from County Down. I would know Declan when I used to play in County Down, so it's good to see him today.
was he good to you?
He was actually, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, good guy. He's been refereeing for years.
Declan Rice blowing up there, seeing a charge, and Carlow now with the chance again. The dangerous Sarah Doyle with an effort over the bar,
that is a
right over the red spot. Beautiful score from Sarah Doyle. So she's getting her first point now. Rachel Sawyer and Sarah Doyle with a goal and a point each this afternoon for Carlow, doing all the damage inside. But Joanne Corr is left here. I think Carlow might be happy enough to leave her take the short ones, but they'll go long. It's not working out, and it hasn't worked out again. And the ball is collected by Carlow. They come through the hands now of Elaine Ware, who's set up quite an amount this afternoon. She brings it into Atkinson. Atkinson is playing as a defender, but also as an attacker. Leaves one out here to Niamh Kelly. Niamh Kelly putting one in, but putting one into the right and wide. Didn't have the legs, didn't have the accuracy either, but her first chance of the afternoon, and a bit of confidence to go from there, and why not? They're plenty of points up now, 2-3 to no score. Up at this stage, you'd imagine maybe Thomasina Cassidy wanting to go short this time. She won't, she'll go long again. It hasn't been working, it's still not working there. Carlow clouding that midfield, but somehow falls to a Derry girl in the end. But well, dispossessed, just as I said. That great work there from Ellen Atkinson already this afternoon. She's been everywhere, she's done brilliant, but ball lost. Derry have it again. Nice high ball in, isolated here now is a Derry girl. There's two on her, she'll find it difficult to do anything. I think it's McGonigal has the ball. She sends a beautiful ball across. Maybe a free there. I think a foul and in the penalty area.
Yeah.
Was that Brown
just
there?
outside? Yeah, it's a penalty. Yeah,
I think it's a penalty.
Yeah.
Was that Nuala Brown who was fouled inside the box?
Yeah.
Well, doing well there, the captain there.
Great ball and young Clodagh Moore.
And it certainly was a push in the back. So she does well, and Derry from nowhere have got their first chance of the match.
Yeah. And this is Leah, ex-international soccer player, so you'd like to think she'll put this away.
So Leah McGonigal and Nicole Hanley, they need a goal, Derry. Win behind her. Oh, and save just on the line there, straight into the legs of Nicole Hanley, and she'll clear the line. Well, Leah won't be happy with that, I'm sure.
No, she'd probably be disappointed with herself now for it straight at the keeper, but it was a great reaction save.
It certainly was. She didn't pick a side. She stayed strong in the middle, put the legs out, does well. And Carlow have done very well to clear their lines as well. Cassie Locher now with the ball in, but Derry with the sweeper this time, able to collect. Happier out. Better tactics from Derry. They'll hopefully come through the hands again. They'll build through Ava Mullen. She sends it back to Kiva Dillon.
Brought her down back from corner forward into the sweeper role, so Kiva plays that really, really well, that role.
Kiva with a nice ball in, but just a bit too strong. I think the wind catching it and going over the head of Nuala Brown. So it's Carlow who'll come again through Ware, who's been in the centre of everything this afternoon for Carlow. She sends it to her midfield partner, Elaine Ware, who sends it up to the danger woman, Doyle.
Their one-touch football's lovely to watch, Ariel, isn't it? Yeah, the ball's like a hot potato.
It is beautiful. The passing is excellent now. Sawyer to Doyle again. Doyle just fumbling. It might fall to a Derry girl this time. It certainly does. And she does well there.
Well done, Kiva.
Sends it out here. Now Derry will build again, but they're coming slower out. Maybe a bit of tiredness here. There's a lot of over and back. But Derry come through the centre. Beautiful ball here into the
Building
corner.
with a bit of confidence here. That's another great ball.
Another great ball. Not quite dealt with
Great
that well
defending.
inside though. Great defending.
Great defending from the fullback.
Under pressure there, but a beautiful ball into McGonigal. It just falls out of her hands, but under massive pressure. Carlow will come again. I think we'll just stop for a minute. Nuda Brown tying her laces, and we'll take a bit of a break there. But a chance for Derry out of nothing. A penalty chance there for Liam McGonigal. A push on the back of the Derry captain Nuda Brown, but bad enough effort, falling straight onto the leg of Nicole Handy, who stays strong in the goal, reacts well, and Carlow clear their lines. But Carlow haven't scored for a while. Derry playing better in defence.
Yeah,
the sweeper
definitely,
doing well.
yeah. They'll take a bit of confidence from that now.
They certainly will. And
there's another turnover.
And everything that was coming through Doyle and Sawyer in the first few minutes now being snuffed out. A lot more pressure coming on then. They won't get it as easy, and Derry will come through the hands as they have done so much. With a beautiful pass out there collected here now by Amy Rose Mulligan, who's been quiet so far in the match. She'll get a chance to impress now. Sends a crossfield ball here to another Derry guard, and they look to build again, looking for a bit of movement inside, but two sweepers inside for Carlow will make it difficult. McGonigal collects, she sends another ball wide. Plenty of Derry girls here on the 45. One of them is Moore. She brings it and she collects again. Moore now working her way up to the 21, has a bit of space if she can get it out to Brown, but she can't under pressure. Puts it back eventually. Oh, a lovely dummy there, sends it back to Moore. Moore now with the chance too. Carlow girls, she breaks through, she goes in the box. Is she fouled? I think she might be.
Yeah.
Declan Rice giving a push in the back there, I think, was it?
I think he's given it from a previous foul.
Earlier.
Yeah.
Well, great work from Clodagh Moore there. A lot of 1-2s, great work through the hands from Derry. Very impressive.
Clodagh's got a great dummy.
she
filled a few in there.
She fooled me even. She did.
That wouldn't be hard.
Certainly would not, but she does well. Brown was an option as well.
Yeah, that's better play from Derry. They'll take confidence from that area. Yeah,
when they're playing their style, they do very well, and that sweeper is definitely helping, because I mean that 12 and 13 for Carlow have been very dangerous this afternoon, and they've really stopped them in their tracks now the last few minutes. And their first chance at a point here. First score for Derry this afternoon. That will calm the nerves. Again, a strong win behind them should be helping them. They'd hope to be up by half time, but it's going to be difficult at this stage. Liam McGonigal with her first point of the afternoon, and a short kick out taken here, falling into the hands of the captain for Carlow, Ruth Birmingham, this afternoon, brings it across to her.
Carlow have two people for the ball on the ball every time. They seem to look as if they have 18 or 19 players on the pitch at times, Ariel. They're just running at speed.
And they can do everything. A beautiful kick pass just to follow that as well. And
that's
ball
good
finally
defending.
now from Bailey, but Bailey under pressure puts it to the right and wide. And as we had said earlier, there was no wides for Carlow for the first few minutes. They had 2 goals and 3 points, and now it's been 3 wides in a row from Carlow, so a lot more pressure coming on them.
Yeah, I think Derry seem to be standing up to them more now, so they'll take confidence from the fact that they are pushing them wide and they're holding them to less scores, so that's good.
Certainly is.
Like Carlow's going to keep up coming at them. They seem to be a very fit, strong team, so that's not going to sway it at all.
No. Bad ball there, falling short into the hands of the Carlow cornerback Niamh Murphy, who gets her hands on the ball for only the second time this afternoon. She's looking to build play now through Ellen Atkinson, who so much has come through this afternoon. Sends it to her captain Ruth Birmingham, has a bit of space as well. She looked maybe to round the Derry defenders here, but doesn't. Gives a beautiful pass in there to Atkinson again. The centre back with space on the 20. She's willing to go herself as that one over the bar. What a wonder score there for the centre back. She deserves it as well. She's been playing brilliantly in the backs, but she can show us that she can play as a forward as well.
She can play anywhere, yeah.
A bullet of a shot over the bar there from Ellen Atkinson. A great score now, and the first score for Carlow in quite some time after 3-4 wides.
Really difficult to do that, from the middle as well. That score just straight on the goal, so fair play there.
Beautiful.
She was going at speed too.
But again, another
come again.
Kick out.
Here's the speed demon again, Ariel.
Certainly is Doyle now with the ball. She's been putting under a lot more pressure. Well, Ware was inside if they wanted to give the pass, but they're happy to go themselves. Is that a wonder score there?
Oh, that is just divine.
It is beautiful score, and I'm not sure who scored that. I think it was number 14. Sinead Hayden got that one. Yeah. Beautiful score there from herself. Her first effort of the day, and showing why she's in at full forward. Beautiful score.
Yeah. Nice for first effort.
It certainly is. She knew what she was doing, that's for sure.
I don't even think she looked at the posts.
Thomasina Cassidy again going high again. It's not working for her all day, but she keeps at it. The short ones were working, but she's gone long again, collected by a Carlow woman, and another chance here for Sinead Hayden. This one just to the right and wide, but under a lot more pressure that time. Sinead from no chances to 2 chances in the space of 1 minute, one being converted, one going to the right and wide, as so many have this afternoon. Against a strong enough wind here blowing from left to right, and Thomasina Cassidy finally going short again.
I think they heard you.
Yeah, I think they did. Well, Joanne's done very well there. She's collected every ball, and she's
absolutely, and she keeps looking for the ball as well. So that might be the better tactic for them at the minute.
It certainly is. Free committed there, and we come back for Derry free. The Derry fullback McDade sends a nice ball across to the wing there, collected by Curran now. Curran has a woman in the centre if she can find her, and she certainly does with the fist. There's a bit of movement on the left as well, and a beautiful movement there. Is it Brown over that wing? I'm not sure, but taken to ground anyway. Ball not collected, and again the kick pass not working out for Derry. Maybe going through the hands is the best option. They lose the ball. Elaine Ware now has the ball for Carlow and collects again. Bit of space out here on the left if she can find it. Sells the dummy. Beautiful dummy. 3 in the centre now for Carlow. And again an unmarked Doyle collects the ball. The danger woman here in the centre has been left free. She jinks to the right, finds a bit of space for herself, kicks the ball, but against that strong wind won't find the distance. Collected by Thomasina Cassidy now under pressure from 2 Carlow girls. Sends it out the wing, but probably will go over the line here, and there'll be a chance for Carlow to build again through Sinead Hayden. But again, Martine, if you had anything to say to the Derry girls now, well, we'll forget about that, because there's a chance here now for Sawyer, who's been left free inside. Beautiful jink again. She's on the right. She put it in low, but another unlucky effort there.
I think another good effort by Thomasina to put her off there. It seemed to have worked.
The very tight angle for Sawyer. If she had somebody else running in, but she was by herself.
Yeah.
Did well, but just...
Yeah, I think if I had words for the Derry team at the minute, it would be do exactly what Thomasina's just done. Play through the hands. Derry play fabulous football through the hands. They need to do exactly what Carlow's doing.
I don't think they've lost one all day going through the hands. The kick pass, not so good, but the hand passing has just been excellent, and the possession play has been wonderful this afternoon.
And a bit more patient, just what Eva's doing at the minute, a bit more patience on the ball.
Yeah, very comfortable on the ball. Finds a bit of space here. Sends a lovely crossfield ball into the hands of McCloskey. McCloskey now with plenty of space over here in the right. She'll go back into the centre and collect again. Has more space. Lovely 1-2 work here. And McCloskey from an awkward angle. She might go herself. She tries herself. But to the right and wide, maybe the right idea, but just not executed that well from Caoimhe McCloskey, who made her own score there. Beautiful through the hands, up the wing, had the space on the 21. Had to take the chance really with not much movement inside, but to the right and wide.
But I think Derry need to be a bit more patient though, and hold on to the ball a wee bit longer, and just don't take the difficult shot. It's a couple of times they've come up and done that, so I think they might just need to be a wee bit more patient with the ball.
Again, as you said, a very young team as well, so maybe a bit of inexperience there.
Interception.
Yeah, but I tell you, when they do play through the hands and keep possession, they're very impressive this afternoon. But also very impressive was Ellen Atkinson, a point of her own, now playing defensively, doing great work again. We look to build up here now. She goes to number 7.
Very skillful on the ball, Ariel, isn't she?
Oh, wonderful. The kick passing from Carlow as well has been just excellent now this afternoon, coming a link play from the backs up to the forwards, over the midfielders, using that kick pass, especially into Sawyer, has been very impressive all afternoon. They look to build again. There's a bit of space and a bit of loose marking again on Sawyer here.
Look at the space she has.
She's plenty space, but you know, if you stay tight, she'll round you as well. So very dangerous girl. Sends it back to Hayden, who sends it back to Sawyer again. Bit of space here now for Doyle. Doyle at the right boot. Doyle just to the left and wide, but showing how dangerous they can be. Doyle, Hayden, Kelly, Sawyer, 12-14 there, playing a great game this afternoon. The Danger women, a lot coming through them this afternoon. Not converting now maybe for the last 10 minutes, but the damage done in the first few minutes. Derry might look to get a goal here now before we go in at half-time. Another high ball in. They haven't worked out most of the afternoon. That one does work out.
Yeah,
collected by Brown.
First time they've won the midfield ball.
But the kick pass again not working out. Yeah. Just snapping away there, Derry. Maybe they
might need to look at that.
They might, maybe with the wind behind them, they might be a bit more confident going distance, but that one not going the length that Brown would have liked, and it falls into a Carlow woman's hands. And we'll go back here now to who else but Sawyer, who's played excellently this afternoon. She's fouled. We'll play advantage. We will not. We'll come back here for a foul on Rachel Sawyer on the 21, and our partner in crime, Sarah Doyle, now with a chance here. Both of them have scored 1-1. Sarah Doyle now with a chance to score 1-2. She has 2 wides as well. Quite a strong wind against her, but you'd imagine now from the 20 that Sarah Doyle can convert. Ball off the post, falls into the hands here of Hayden. Hayden with the chance.
Take her score, yeah.
She does take her score. Beautiful score there from Sinead Hayden. Against that strong wind, ball coming off the left-hand post, back into the hands of Hayden, who reacted quicker than all the Derry defenders.
They might be glad of a score of a point rather than a goal there. Errol, that was a goal opportunity as well, I think.
It certainly was. Derry now, will they go short or long? Well, Joanne has been marked a little bit tighter here this afternoon, so we'll go along. Beautiful ball collected. And again, that kick pass, will it work out? There's 3 here marking McGonigal. She does well, puts a bit of strength in it, leaves it go by, but it's Niamh Murphy who reacts better.
Isn't she? She's very isolated up there.
She certainly is. Not much for her to go on.
It's difficult for Derry because they need to get men behind the ball, because Carlow were running a pace and then it leaves them isolated up front, so it's a difficult call for them, that.
It certainly is. Bailey doing well here. Derry defending that 45, and it's Ruth Birmingham, the Carlow captain, who tries to make a bit of space, but Derry do great with that. Maybe a bit of charging, maybe standing in front, I'm not sure. Declan Rice probably in 2 minds in that one, but he gives the free for Derry in the end. Okay, that's all right. we weren't given the referee's name before this, so we're trying to figure it out.
Apologies about that, Ariel.
Aye, but we go back to Derry, and what a wonder score there.
A score
from Leah McGonigal.
No,
is it no? Just falls, dropped short. Well, we thought from this angle it was a beauty, and it was falling over the red spot there if it was going to fall anywhere, but just falls short there from Leah McGonigal, who had the chances. We were talking about the referee and not focusing on the match, but Carlow come again, a beautiful low ball in, but this time again the sweeper working well for Derry, but falls into the hands somehow again of Sarah Doyle, but collected by Derry, and they'll come up this wing again. Now Caoimhe McCloskey had a chance up that right wing again. She's not going to go this time. She gives it in instead, loses the ball to who else but Ellen Atkinson, who's been everywhere for Carlow this first half, has played brilliantly. And
there's about 4 of her.
There certainly is. A lot comes from Atkinson to Ware, who has the ball now, and then comes up eventually to Sawyer or Doyle. That seems to be the way they're playing it most of the time. Straight up the centre, not out the wings, but they do go out the wing this time. And a beautiful ball here eventually into Sawyer, who is isolated. There's 3 Derry women inside the 20 to deal with her. There's a runner as well if she can pick her up. She'll go herself. Is she fouled? I think she might be fouled.
She might have been fouled, yeah.
She'll play on. We'll play advantage. If it is a free, Hayden now with an opportunity. She might take it on the left from there. She won't. She'll bring it out to a more favourable place, and that place is in the hands of Doyle, who's in the middle of the field on the 20.
Turn.
Gorgeous turn to Kelly, who's the only full forward not to score this afternoon. She sends it back to her wing back. A wing back's effort there, falling low and not dealt with quite that well with the Derry girl, who was in 2 minds. Decides to put it out at the end, and we'll take a breather here. A lot of hard work there, but beautiful movement from that Carlow forward line as well. But
to be fair to Derry now, Errol, they managed that well now. They frustrated them, so there was 4 or 5 opportunities there to have a score, but Derry closed them down very, very quickly, so that seems to be working better for them.
It certainly does. It's just hard work trying to keep up with the speed of that Carlow full forward line, who were able to come in and out and bounce around and turn on a sixpence, but dealt with very well by Derry. As you say, this time we come back from a chance. They've stopped the flood. 2-3 scored in the first maybe 6 minutes for Carlow. I think only 3 points since then, so they've stopped the flood and they've scored a point themselves. A few chances on goal, obviously, with a penalty, and a few points as well for Derry, but Carlow obviously the happier team, and showing intent that first few minutes, laid down a marker, went for the 2 goals, got the 2 goals, and Derry now with it all to do. We'll come back here to Elaine Ware now. The ball is slowed down. Elaine might look for a runner here. Definitely too far out for a chance against that wind as well. She has a runner. She has a few runners. She goes long in the end.
Yeah.
She goes long in the end.
Wow, that's some kick. She should have went for a score.
Maybe she
might have
was.
Got one, yeah.
Maybe with the wind in the second half.
Some length in the ball there.
It certainly is. Maybe looking for Sawyer as well. It was moving inside.
That's a good kick out from Thomasina. She's got a great kick on her, hasn't she?
Beautiful kick out to Boorman. So maybe that kind of middle range distance kick out is the way to go as well. Derry look to build now just below us here. Done well with Mulligan. And Derry come up the wing. They've done well when they've come up this wing. Orla McCloskey now with a chance. She's put under pressure but turns beautifully. She gets a slap in the face for her work. So I think it was not really meant by Ruth Birmingham, but she'll get a tick. A dangerous enough slap there. And Derry will look to build, but probably a bit too far out from Mulligan. So she looked to a runner, and she sends a beautiful ball across here into the hands of her centre back, McCloskey. She sends it to her corner back, Joanne Corr. Joanne now with the chance. She looked to go herself with that win, but nobody from Derry inside. And Nicole Hanley, with all the time in the world there, clears it out to her captain Birmingham, who gave away the free minutes ago, but makes amends and works it out into the hands of Elaine Ware, who's been everywhere up the centre of the pitch herself and Atkinson this afternoon. Carlow now with
they come again.
They come again in a wave this time. 5 Carlow girls in the centre. One of them is Ellen Atkinson, who collects again. She looked for one of her runners inside, or maybe to the left. Mahan coming with her. She looks for it again. Atkinson still on a drive. She has a point already, the centre back. She's looking for a second. That one rifled just to the left and wide from Ellen Atkinson, who created her own score, and fair play to her try, but just to the left and wide that time against a very strong wind.
It was great balanced play there, great effort from the Carlow team. It's lovely to watch.
It's lovely direct football. Beautiful 1-2s up the centre of the pitch, lovely kick passes, and usually great execution as well, but a strong wind keeping that score down a bit. Very brave work there from two girls. A clash. I think both of them are alright. I think maybe Sawyer came out worse for Ware there, but they seem okay, so we'll play on. We'll follow the play here to the right hand side of the pitch. Brown now with the ball. Captain getting a penalty already for Derry. She'd be looking for more than that, and a few scores herself. Collects again, looking for something, looking for a spark, looking for a pass. She has to go back. She's under pressure. She might be willing to, as you said earlier, Martina, slow things down, play patiently, and build up for a score.
This injury now, Ariel, because that was a bit of a clash for those two players now.
They will. I think.
They'll just check and see if they're okay.
I think they got up. They were all right.
Yeah, and then they went down again.
Yeah, just keep the physios to have a look. I think a breather as well is needed at this
Absolutely
stage.
for Derry, yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it's come at the right time.
And Derry will have the ball. They'll be happy with the ball on the other side of the pitch with a strong wind. They look for a score or two now more. A goal would be brilliant, but even a few points to do them the world of good at this stage and get the confidence up for a very young Derry team.
Yeah, a score for Derry now just before half time might be what they need just to try and settle them a bit.
Well, Carlow have been very impressive. I know they're missing one of their best players, Cleanany Hay, this afternoon, and she's missed, but you wouldn't think it out there. And as you were saying, very strong panel as well. So it'll be interesting to see who else might come in the second half. But that's the second half. This is the first half, and Derry are coming, but again snuffed out by Carlow there on the 45. They look to build again, rapid pace up here through the centre and through the hands of Rachel Sawyer, who's come a long way back. Sorry, Sarah Doyd, who's come a long way back. She sends it up to Rachel Sawyer, who's fouled, pushed in the back. And Carlow have numbers up here as well if they want to go quick.
Absolutely. I was chatting to my sources in Carlow. They would fancy themselves going all the way in this competition this year, and the fact that they did play up in Leinster has definitely worked in their favour. And you can see they're playing the level. You know, the speed of their football seems to be much higher than Derry, so that is definitely playing to their advantage at the minute. And I'm told they're playing well as a team, and that's very evident out there.
It certainly
today,
is.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so Ruth Birmingham now the captain.
Yeah, that's
a
good
chance.
interception there.
Derry have the numbers back there in the 21. And I think a free given away by a Carlow woman, it certainly was. So Derry look to build. They'll look for a score here now before half time if they get a chance. But I think the physio running out here just to check on somebody. I make it out 32 minutes on my clock. It's up to the referee now this afternoon, I think, to decide on time. I don't think we have a buzzer going at the end. So it's up to the referee this afternoon. He keep an eye on the clock. We haven't had too many stoppages, so
yeah, no, I don't think there should be too many minutes over. Derry might need a few though to get a score here.
we were talking about this yesterday as well at another match where we didn't have the buzzer, and it's kind of nice in a way because how many times have we seen in the last few years a score just about to go into the goal or over the bar and the buzzer goes? It seems very unfair. So
absolutely.
Maybe
yeah,
a bit more
I love the buzzer.
there. Yeah, well, as a Waterford man, I'll always remember why it was brought in.
Why?
I don't know if you could, because Waterford were playing Armagh, was it 20 years ago? And they played an extra 10 minutes.
That's far too far away.
Look, I'll never forget. I'll never forget. It was brought in because they played 10 minutes too much. The referee thought it was a men's match and played 70 minutes instead of 60, so they brought the buzzer in after that.
Are you still feeling sore?
I'll never forget. Never forget. We do a great ladies football team back in the 90s.
That's right. Yeah, I used to follow them.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
they're getting good
Brilliant.
again, which is good to see. But anyway, we'll come back to the match here, and
Yeah.
Sarah died with the chance that time, but Sarah puts this one to the right and wide, two
Good
wides
pressure
now
from Derry. Yeah.
from Sarah. But yeah, things not coming easier. A lot more difficult than it was in the first few minutes for them, and
There's
I think the
half-time.
half-time whistle's blown here. And the wind is blowing as well, but that wind was blowing behind Derry in this first half, making things a lot more difficult for them, as if the scoreboard didn't show a difficult enough chance for them in the second half. They'll find it a lot more difficult. A lot to come from Rita Hannigan aside in the dressing room. She might ring a few changes. She might do a few tactical changes as well. She needs to do something because Carlow are coming strong. They've definitely gotten better in the first 5 minutes. A goal coming very quickly from Sarah Doyle and from Rachel Sawyer as well. 2 points coming from them. 2 points from Sinead Hayden, a point from Orla Hickey, and then Ellen Atkinson, who worked her way up from the centre pitch with a rifle of a shot over the bar from the centre back, who's played excellently this afternoon, making it 2-6 for Carlow. Only the 1 point coming this afternoon for Derry from Liam McGonigal, but they do have a missed penalty coming from a push on the back of Nuala Brown, and Liam McGonigal sending it right down the centre, saved well by Nicole Hanley. And that's the story of this first half. I'm not sure if there's any way back here for Derry, or what do you say as a manager to them inside there at half time, Martina?
Well, I think it's really, really important that Derry try to contain Carlow. I think they need to stop them running at speed. So I think they need to start spoiling the ball a bit more, so focus on the more defensive game than the attacking game, and play out. And they need to play through the hands. They're not playing through the hands. That's Derry's strength. They need to do a bit more of that in the second half.
Certainly. So that's it from us. Join us again in 10 minutes for the second half here of the TG4 All-Ireland Junior LGFA Championship Group A match round 2, as Carlow lead Derry here by 2-6 to 1 point as they go in for half time. Well, Fáilte Hernash, welcome back to the second half here of the TG4 All-Ireland Junior LGFA Championship Group A Round 2 match. Derry lining out now from right to left again against a strong enough wind blowing left to right. Carlow 2-6 to 1 point up and just waiting for a football here. Any thoughts before we launch into the second half, Martina? Any changes that Derry can do? Or
I think they need to focus on the, as I said at half time. I think they need to focus on their defensive game, and I think they need to play the ball through the hands a bit more, and try and manage the Carlow flow. So let's see how they start.
Ball thrown in, won by Carlow. They'll come with intent, and again it's Sarah Doyle who comes into the centre. Beautiful ball in, as she did so many times to Sawyer. They might try to go for goal like they did in the first half. She might be happy to settle with a point. Is that one going to drop in? It's not.
Beautiful.
Over the bar there.
Beautiful score.
Sarah Doyle starting off in the middle of the field, which she did in the first half as well, and looks for that early score. It's a great little tactic, isn't it? Just go for goal or go for a point from the tip off, and a beautiful score there coming from Sarah Doyle, who created that effort herself. They have the wind, that'll help them.
It'll ball again.
They certainly do. Things are going to be even harder on Thomasina Cassidy this afternoon, and well, they're coming again, but at Derry not falling for it this time. A lot more pressure coming from the defenders. They're not going man for man like they did in the first few minutes. They're going zone and they're doing well, but a beautiful effort there.
That is a beautiful
Elaine
score.
Ware, a beautiful score from her. She was brilliant in the first half. She hasn't scored, hasn't taken a shot on goal yet, but she's showing that she'll be a danger from outside the 21 today. Beautiful long-range effort coming from her.
And this is the difficulty, Ariel. I mean, it doesn't matter if Derry can, pack the defence. They'll just start shooting from outside, as they've just shown us. So
They'll need to put more pressure on outside.
Yeah, they're going to have to put pressure all over the pitch. Might need to do man for man on this.
Need to do something. Queevy McCloskey collects but gives it away there. Beautifully won by Hayden, who sends a nice ball into Doyle on the run. Doyle into the 21, looking on the left, but blocked down by the captain Brown. Beautiful block there.
Hopefully that gives them a bit of incentive now to get the ball up the pitch.
Yes, they look to keep the ball maybe in hand and work it through. Brown might look to collect here on the right hand side again.
Look at them, they're like a swarm of bees.
They certainly are, but done well from Casey there. Works it up. Derry now, they have a few numbers inside, but not many. There's a strong enough defensive line here from Carlow, so Derry will have to build
Carlow
slowly.
Getting back though, they seem to play this double sweeper, and it doesn't seem to be the same two players every time. So that's a really interesting strategy that they employ. Ariel, I like that. It's now 10 and 7 at the minute,
Dealt with well
and they're away again.
They certainly are. Dealt with well by them. Una Fitzpatrick now hasn't seen much of the ball there. The Carlow full back. The ball hasn't come to her much. She deals with it well.
That's a lovely pass.
Brings it out. Beautiful pass here, collected by the dangerous Sarah Doyle, who seems to be everywhere so far in the first 2 minutes. Lovely hand pass across here as well to a bit of space. A dirty out bounce there. Falls out of the hands of Dowling.
She's on Duracell batteries, that young Sarah Doyle player, isn't she?
Certainly is, yeah.
Definitely youth is on her side. I want to know what she's eating today.
Another one is Sawyer, who comes through again.
That's a lovely tackle.
Beautifully dispossessed.
Lovely tackle.
And she was looking dangerous. If she broke through there wasn't anyone in front of her.
Yeah.
And a foul there.
It was a really great example of a near hand tackle.
Well, a lot better work from that Derry defence now. Beautiful block from Brown just a few minutes before that as well.
That'll give them a bit of confidence, Ariel.
It certainly will. They're fine footballers. They're brilliant footballers. If they can work the ball up through the hand here, they might get a goal or two as well. I think they're playing with a little bit more confidence this half as well. Carlow came to shock them, but didn't work in the first few minutes. Only a point scored so far.
Yeah, and that's what's letting them down. They're doing a lot of hard work, and then they seem to be giving the ball away on a long pass. So yeah, go short, because the shorter game's working for them.
Certainly is. Carlow break quickly, but again, a dirty bounce falling through the hands of Niamh Kelly, and Derry look to clear their lines now. I think coming through, is it Boorman there on the far side of the pitch?
That's well played out of tackle there, yeah.
Does well. McCloskey, who's been everywhere as well for Derry in the centre of the pitch this afternoon with a nice ball. Now Derry have a bit of space. There's a little bit of movement inside as well for Casey if she can spot the girl, but she can't. She's happy to go herself. A very dangerous player. She's under pressure from two, but deals with it very well, showing her strength and bringing it back to the captain and Nuala Brown. Nuala now with an effort to the right, but it won't go out. It'll fall into a Derry hand maybe. Dealt with well there by a Carlow woman, but there was advantage being played for a pull just before that on Nuala Brown, and there might be a chance here for Derry. A bit far out, a strong enough wind here. Might make it difficult for Leah, but she'll take her chance.
Yeah, the challenge for Derry here is Carlow were getting back in waves.
And they certainly were. I think there might be a substitution here as well. So McGonigal puts it up. It's falling low, falls into the hand of a Carlow girl. She deals with it well, and they'd come out through. And the captain, Ruth Birmingham, has a bit of space there. Well, again, with that wind, it was going to make it difficult for McGonigal. Falls short, was dangerous, but dealt with well by the Carlow defence. They clear their lines, and a beautiful little jink there from the ever dangerous Sarah Doyle into her midfield partner Bailey. Bailey has one chance so far, put it wide. She's happier to send it out to Doyle. Doyle, who's a bit more dangerous on the right boot, skips it up. Is it going to fall under? It's not. Another beautiful score from Sarah Doyle. The second one created like that in this half. She creates her points, does a nice 1-2, works her way into the 21, and with the right boot over the bar, another brilliant point from Sarah Doyle in this half. 1-3 now for her.
Derry need to deal with Sarah Doyle. They're not dealing with Sarah Doyle at all, and she seems to be. Everything seems to be going through her, Ariel, so they need to manage that better.
It might just be impossible.
Yeah,
it might just be impossible. She comes again. This time fluffs it a bit, showing she's human, but dealt with well and collected by her partner. Sends it back to the corner back. A corner back effort there. Well,
unlucky.
It was difficult enough angle there for Niamh Murphy. She did well. She had space. She could have even gone for goal, but took the chance from the 20, but hits the outside of the boot instead of the laces and just skims off to the right and wide for the corner back there. Maybe should have slowed it down and given it to Sawyer or Doyle or even Hayden, who were waiting close enough to her, but took the chance. Didn't work out this time. Another bad clearance there from Cassidy, but didn't have much to hit for. And they'll come again. The ever dangerous Doyle. Another chance here for her on the right. Tries to be blocked down, but this time to the right and wide from her. A strong wind now blowing. That wind, just so you know, if you can see in the flags, isn't blowing left to right. It's more blowing towards the camera there as you're looking at it. So that might have taken that one just off to the right and wide. A very strong wind as well, especially down the town end here.
Look how they're bunching in the middle of the park. Isn't that amazing to see? I saw this at a men's game the other day as well. It's a very interesting tactic that the teams are now adopting, where they're all bunching and then they sweep out. It's great to see.
When it works, it's great to see.
It's one of those where you it's a luck.
Again, I think Derry were doing very well with the short ball.
Yeah, through the hand, they're lovely.
But they do have it this time. They're coming up now against a very strong wind. Mulligan with a nice low ball in here to McGonigal, who's come out a long way. But again,
look how many Carlow players are behind the ball, though.
Yeah,
they have great fitness levels, because that's really difficult to do as a squad. When you that's a super effort.
I think
that's
off
very
the back.
unlucky.
I think that went off the back crossbar, did it? I think that's a score
Is
there.
it a score?
I think it hit off the back crossbar,
well
not
done.
off the
That
front
was a
one.
really good score.
Falls off the bar. I think it was Mulligan, number 15 for Derry with that effort.
Great score.
Beautiful score.
That might give them a bit of confidence now. You know, despite all Carlow's possession, they've only scored 3 points in this half, and with the win, so Derry doing okay.
Again, as you said in the first half, Martina, they played through the hands. They took their time. They didn't go quickly. I think McGonigal came out to collect at the full forward. She was outside the 45. She was happier to give a pass, slow it down, go through the hands. And they done better this time. We have a sub as well coming here. I think it's McCloskey's coming off. For Derry, it is. Caoimhe McCloskey is off. She had one chance on goal. She played quite well. I'm not sure if she's tired, if there's an injury there. She was playing quite well, but she's off. Is it the number 26 for Derry, is it? McGuckin?
Yeah, it looks like Ellie McGuckin, from Maherfeld.
Ellie McGuckin, Maherfeld girl in there for the number 8, Caoimhe McCloskey. But go back to Carlow. Carlow now beautiful, showing their class with another beautiful kick pass there. Gil Martin now on the ball. She's just outside the 21, inside the D, and a great score for even Gil Martin. Her first chance of the day and her first score with a strong wind behind her. A beautiful ball straight over the red spot there. And now more pressure on Thomasina Cassidy. She could go short here, but she's willing to look for a runner. She finds the runner. Well, she doesn't. It actually goes into the centre, collected here by Una Fitzpatrick, and they'll come again, Carlow, through the hands now of who else but Sawyer. She sends it into a substitute for Carlow, the number 20, Adele Hayden.
Gorgeous
with a beautiful
really
score there
lovely
for
score
Adele.
with her left foot.
Just on the pitch.
Scores.
And Adele Hayden scores a beautiful score there. Her first effort, her first touch of the day, and a great score in off the left-hand post, I think, and just over the bar. Great score. That wind helping it. If it wasn't for the wind, it might have hit the post and come back.
So, indeed.
It's quite a wind there. I'm not sure if you can make it out, but
That's Leah from full forward, coming right down in the middle of the park, looking for the ball. That's good to see. I think we need to see more of that from Derry.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
She'll build it up now through the Derry substitute, Eddie McGuckin. Should have the legs. Collected here now by Casey, who's a very dangerous runner, very comfortable on the ball. She might go crossfield, she might go herself. Pressure coming from Doyle on her, she does go herself. Shows strength there, is foul, legs come across her. Dangerous enough tackle to be a
I think that
tick
could be
here
a tick,
at least.
yeah, absolutely.
For Antoinette Dowling, for Carlow.
Although it's a very clean game, Ariel, isn't it?
Is.
Yeah, there hasn't been too many stoppages, so yeah, both teams are very clean footballers. Nice to see. If you had been at my game this morning, you wouldn't have thought the same.
Well,
and they're only youngsters too.
I was doing the Monaghan Meath game yesterday.
Oh,
First
very
time
good.
seeing Meath in the flesh. Very impressive.
Yeah, I'd love to see them.
Team, but the physicality was just immense yesterday. There was hitting going on. Very fair, but two very strong teams, especially that Meath team, showing their physicality now.
You didn't do
yesterday
the Donegal
afternoon.
game, no?
No.
No.
Good.
Did they beat Waterford?
Don't talk about it. High ball coming in there from Eddie McGuckin. Dealt with well by Carlow. They'll come out from the hands of Ellen Atkinson, who's been quiet in the second half, but probably was man of the match in the first half. Played brilliantly, was everywhere. She deals with it well. Sends it across to another fantastic player. Elaine Ware sends it beautifully in to Hayden, and now a chance here for the dangerous Doyle. Doyle has it on the left boot, blocked down.
Well
Derry
done.
doing much
Well done, Derry.
better defensively there. Great block from Derry. Doyle looking dangerous, 2-on-2 situation, but dealt with brilliantly from Derry, and a very brave block down there from the Derry back, and we'll break from there. Nice ball sent in, but maybe a little bit too far for Amy Rose Mulligan. As a Carlow woman who has it.
That wind's picking up again now, Errol. You can see it sweeping around Celtic Park here.
It certainly is. We're down in a bit of a valley here, and it does sweep around, but it is very strong. Mostly aiding the Carlow team in this half, as it blows mostly towards the camera here. Our poor cameraman nearly been blown away outside, braving the elements.
It'll be all right. He's got his waterproofs on. Here, the Carlow team have an extra player because they seem to be playing their centre half forward, Aoibhinn, right back in the full back line, and she's giving and going the whole way up the pitch. So that's also a lovely strategy, I think, and it's definitely working well for them.
Certainly is. Kiva Collins now getting her hands on the ball for the first time, the number 17 for Carlow, working a great ball in here to Evie Gilmartin, who has a score from a few minutes ago, might be looking for a second. She sends it back to Elaine Ware, who has a score in this half herself, and a lovely long range effort from her earlier on. She's happy to go out the wing to Orla Hickey, who has a point herself. She'll slow it down. They're happy to go through the phases. They have a fine margin here, and might be willing to just tick out the clock, but I'm sure there's certain people like Roisin Bailey who'll be looking for more than that. Beautiful ball sent in here now to Sawyer. Sawyer has a chance for her second goal.
Great defending.
Great defence under pressure.
Defending.
Sawyer,
really
she's
good.
Put under a lot of pressure to score 1 goal and 1 point, but nobody blocking her in the first 5 minutes. Now 3 wides from her, not just some bad efforts, but huge pressure coming from that Derry defence, and Rachel Sawyer taking her effort with the left boot to the left and wide, but dangerous positioning there. Carlow showing they could be in for 1 or 2 more goals this half.
Carlow were ball in hand, looking up, scanning, looking for the player. They don't look to run with the ball, they're looking for the player every single time, and they seem to have a player available every single time. So they're really playing really well together as a team, and you can see that they've had a lot of experience playing in the last while, so yeah, it's working for them today now.
Yeah, that strong bench as well, showing
with that wind, Ariel, it's just hanging in the air.
Certainly is. Another substitute in there for Carlow, Roisin Byrne, coming on and slotting into the full forward position here. Might be looking for a goal or two to impress the Carlow manager Ed Burke, and it might come here from Elaine Ware, but she's happy to give it to Atkinson, who'll slow down the ball, bringing it now to Gilmartin. Will she send it in? She won't. She might look for a score of herself. She's fouled, I think. Or does she create the foul?
No, that's
she does.
Charge.
Was it charging?
Yeah.
Dangerous enough shoulder.
Again,
right.
Good play from Leah Casey. Leah's having a really good game today for Derry. She's all over the pitch, taking a bit of a breather there now. I think it's well deserved.
Certainly is. Another girl who's all over the pitch is Leah McGonigal. She'll have to go against 6 Carlow defenders herself, and she does brilliant. She draws the foul. Might be a bit far out for her. She might want to go quick here. There's a girl inside as well if she can see her. But she'll slow it down maybe. They might go through the phases. There's 3 Derry girls behind her as well if they want to build up like that, or she might be happy to go herself. No, she'll look for a bit of movement. Carlow snuffing out any quick chances. Brown inside if she'd like to pick her out, but there's
Yeah, I
4
think
or
she
5.
should just go for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Liam McGonigal now with a fine boot, fine effort. That one creeping over the
Oh,
bar, I
that's a
think.
great score. Well done. That's a brilliant score.
Beautiful
Good on her.
score.
Good on her for taking the decision.
Yeah, showing confidence against a very strong wind. Puts that over the bar. Her second point now of the day for Leah. No wide, showing the accuracy when she gets the chances. 3 now for Derry. And 2:11 for Carlow as I look over the scoreboard to the right hand side in the town end, and it's Carlow
Oh my
working their
God,
way
look
up
at the
there.
speed of her. She's like a steam train.
Beautiful. Oh,
Over carrying.
an illegal steam train there.
I'm
Rachel
not too
Sawyer
sure
coming
what to
through.
call that. Now I might have to question that with the referee at the end of the
Aye,
game.
well, there was questioning going on, so we'll bring it up another 20 yards, but maybe a bit unfair.
Yeah.
But, there's a biased Derry woman here saying that as well. So another
There
kick
she
pass
is.
goes
She's got
astray
the ball
there.
again.
She's not happy.
No.
She's willing to show. Well, beautiful work there from the young girl. Works it into her partner in
this
crime,
space.
Sarah Doyle. How much has come through the two of them today? Another speed merchant, Sarah Doyle, now looking for a bit of space. She comes inside the 21. Will she go right? She won't. She go left. A chance here now from the number 20, but just goes
unlucky.
wide there from Adele Hayden. She has a point already. She was going for goal that time, but with the left, just brings it to the right-hand side of the goal. But Carlow being very dangerous. But that Derry defence, a lot more...
Yeah.
The walls are up. The walls of Derry are up.
It just shows you how speedy young Sarah Doyle is. Kiva Dillon, who's marking her, who's put on as a man marker, can't keep up with her, and Kiva would be really, really fast. So that young girl, Sarah Doyle, is a speed demon.
She certainly is. And
She flew past her.
And Sawyer just before that as well, probably even faster again. 12 and 13 for Carlow, being very impressive this afternoon. But Derry dealing with them a lot better at the same time. Kiva Collins now has the ball for the second time. She sends it to her midfield maestro, Elaine Ware, sends a crossfield ball.
If you look at the scores in the second half, I think Carlow have 5 and Derry have 2. So I mean, they're not winning by much at the minute for the second half.
No.
Despite all their that's a great pickup.
It certainly is. There was
what skill.
There was another beautiful kick pass there from Elaine Ware into Sawyer just
Well
before
done.
that. Sawyer doesn't deal with it well, but she's showing how great the kick passes have been from Carlow this afternoon. But it's Derry have the ball. We'll focus on them for now. And Mulligan with the ball. She's looking to slow it down now. They'll build up a phase. Brown as well has been very clever with the ball this afternoon, especially earlier on in the second half.
She's done a lot of work, Nuala Brown, today for her team. She's really playing a captain's role here.
She certainly is. McGuckin now with a ball, and Brown looks for it again. Will she go herself? Bit tired looking, but she's put under pressure as well. She's looking for a bit of movement maybe inside. There's not much movement coming. Will she draw the foul? She won't. She'll be play it back cleverly though to McGuckin. McGuckin sends it back to her full-back McDade. McDade looking for a bit of movement. Lovely movement, and she gives a beautiful pass, but not dealt with well by Moore. Who's played well so far, but didn't deal with that one well. Had a beautiful run before that, found the space, beautiful pass in, but now we come back to Carlow and the ever dangerous Sarah Doyle is coming in again. Can she convert this one? She look for a goal, will she? No, happy with the point this time. Sarah Doyle, so dangerous. Collects it well, beautiful turn, showing her speed. This time happier with the point. The goals not coming as easy as they did. Their first 2 goals coming within the first 3 or 4 minutes this afternoon. Sarah Doyle scoring herself probably 20 seconds into the match from the kick out, from the throw in that she won herself. But this time happier with the frees because Derry are playing better, definitely a lot better in the last 20 minutes defensively, and even in the last quarter of the first half. Showing a different style, but Sarah Doyle, very, very dangerous player.
Oh, she's hugely impressive, and she's the youngest player, and probably in both of the teams. Can you imagine how she's going to be when she's a senior player? She's phenomenal.
Good throw onto the men's
Wonder
team.
what she had for her breakfast. I'm having whatever she's having, and the rest. But no, she's a player to watch, and they have another young player as well that they want to bring in. Dana O'Brien. She's also a bit like young Sarah Doyle, a player that they're keeping an eye on. So they're really good underage talent coming up in Carlow, so augurs really well for their future.
Certainly does. Roisin Byrne now, one of the
Here we go again.
substitutes
Look at
coming
that
in,
for a
sends it to
beautiful
another
pass.
substitute, sends it into Ware, who looked for a point, her second point of the afternoon if she can get this. No, just to the right and wide. The midfielder working her way in to the 21 of Derry, but this one goes to the right and wide. A few wides racking up now for Carlow, who've been very impressive, but I make out nearly 11 or 12 wides for them as well this afternoon. Which have made things a lot easier on the scoreboard, that's for sure, but they're not finished yet. Doyle coming now with an opportunity,
a great block.
But a beautiful block coming from Rihanna Corn.
Young Sarah Doyle's not tired.
Yeah, she certainly is not. Another chance now for Sarah, who has the second opportunity. This one goes to the right and wide, but the Sarah Doyle show, it certainly has been so far in the second half. 3 chances for her going over the bar and 3 wide, so 6 opportunities for Sarah Doyle, who's set up a few chances herself as well. And very impressive, but
she doesn't lack confidence, does she?
She certainly does not.
Well, it's great to see, though, for such a young player.
Well, with that win behind her as well, she should be trying, and they'll come again. Some of the substitutes looking for blood as well, but this one might fall a bit too low.
Well watched, Thomasina.
Well watched by Thomasina. She tries to clear it as well, but collected this time by Rachel Sawyer. Rachel Sawyer just outside the 21 on the right-hand boot. The win behind her should score, but this one just to the right.
That would have been a sweet score.
Wide from her. She won't be that happy. Scored 1-1 in the first 6 or 7 minutes. Has now put 4 wides. Has played very well as a link player outside, but the radar not working that well, especially in this second half. Thomasina Cassidy now with a high ball caught by the wind, but falls in to a favourable hand.
Good field from Amy Rose, yeah. If Carlow come up against a team stronger than Derry, they're not going to be too happy with those amount of wides. They're going to have to look at that before they go into the next game, Ariel. So I think their management team will regroup with them. Just
nice to have things to work on, though, at the same time.
Absolutely, yeah.
Their link play has been great. They've worked brilliantly as a team. The defence has been solid. Midfield has been great. And their intent has been wonderful as well, especially in the first few minutes going for goals. They might have done well to keep going for goals, but that Derry defence is showing how strong they can be.
Centre half forward back in the full back line as well. That's a fabulous strategy that's really working for them.
Yeah,
their double sweeper and their centre half forward back, that's working really well.
Certainly is, but it's Carlow who clear their lines. They certainly are, and they have plenty of subs out there, and one of them is Adele Hayden, who collects that ball.
Lovely pass.
Beautiful pass. Another beautiful kick pass there, collected by Sarah Doyle. Sends in a nice fist pass here to Roisin Byrne. Roisin tries to turn inside her marker.
Defending.
Great defending. Do well. Sends it out to Ellen Atkinson again, and her chance for her second point, but falls low. Dealt with very well by Cassidy. A dangerous ball there. Could have gone in, and Derry clear the lines. The full back now, Anna McDade, who's played more out the field in this second half, has the ball. She's dispossessed, legally so, but gets it back, sends it to her captain, Nuala Brown, who's out the wing. She might play a nice 1-2 with her full back, and she certainly does. Has a bit of space in this right-hand side. Picks it up, no pressure coming on her. A bit of movement inside. If she can pick out a Derry girl, she'll do well. She does brilliant. Clodagh Moore now with the chance. Sends a nice fist pass here, but
that's hard luck.
Runs over the head of McGonigal.
Good idea.
3 Carlow players dealing with it too, though. Martina making it very difficult. Even if she got that ball,
there's no way on at all.
Certainly is not.
It's like a bank vault.
The gates were closed there.
Well and truly.
And snuffed out.
That better passage of play from Derry going up the pitch, though.
It certainly is.
Just need to deal with this now in defence.
Carlow comes so quick, and especially with that kick pass. Another beautiful kick pass there. Collected here now, and a chance for Adele Hayden. Adele for her second score of the day. I think it's going to be given. It certainly is. Adele Hayden, who came on here only 10 minutes ago. 2 points now coming from her, and 1 wide, being very well, but isolated inside in the forward line as well.
I think that might be a sub coming on for Derry, Ariel. 17, yeah.
I see
Erin Murray from Fottenvale.
Very good. I see 2 Carlow girls going off as well. Elaine Ware, who's played brilliantly all afternoon, and the full forward Sinead Hayden going off the pitch now for Carlow. Not sure who's after coming on. We'll keep an eye on that. I think I see the number 23 out there, Aoife Hayden.
Yeah.
And we keep an eye on the second number as well. But Carlow ringing in the changes. I think all their 5 substitutions now for them.
Lovely
beautiful
pass.
Play there from Aoife Hayden. Sends a gorgeous ball into
a great score.
Aoife Gilmartin. Well, Justin, you'd think you'd come in as a sub and you'd be a bit nervous. The legs would go from under you, but she deals with it brilliantly.
Yeah, as my sources said, their bench is strong. They've just proved it.
I certainly have. Not willing to give up.
That's a beautiful score.
The studs didn't hold in the mucky ground, but the head kept going, and the hands were working perfectly. Beautiful fist pass in there.
Wonder did she play rugby? That was like a rugby effort.
Certainly was. Brilliant there now, and more pressure comes on Thomasina Cassidy. 3 points for Derry, 2-14 for Carlow. You'd imagine it's pride to play for here.
And we're
for
bunching
a
in the
Derry
middle of the
team.
park again. Look at that. This is great.
Certainly are. It can work, but it's going to be hard for Thomasina to pick a pass
out,
with that strong wind blowing. There's 2 Derry girls here, but it's a Carlow girl who has it. That Carlow girl is Nuala Mahan, who puts a beautiful ball into her wing on the opposite side. That's the captain, Ruth Birmingham. Ruth sends it to the dangerous Sarah Doyle. Sarah Doyle has to send it back to Edel Hayden, who's 2 points already.
It's good defending from Derry. They're keeping them out.
Certainly is. She goes with a crossfield ball. They're being patient with it now. I'm sure Sawyer will be looking for a point herself. 4 wides, 1 score. 1 score over the bar, 1 score under the bar, but she'd look for more scores than that if she can get them. She won't be happy so far. Edel Hayden now with the ball. Beautiful kick pass into Orla Hickey. Orla Hickey's put under pressure. She'd have to turn around and send it to the substitute Aoife Hayden. Aoife with 4 girls on her. Maybe she was charging, maybe she wasn't. The referee thinks she was.
That's a couple of times they've been called for charging today. It's been
she might have slipped as well. I think the feet kind of went from under.
Yeah.
There was 4 Derry girls around her. She was under pressure, but it's
she might have been unlucky.
It's a dangerous enough one as well with the shoulder. Could have gone to the neck, so a booking is taken and they'll have to come again.
What an interception. This player for me. I know young Sarah Doyle is probably the star of the show here today, but Ellen Atkinson at number 6 has just been phenomenal for Carlow.
She's been very impressive.
Oh, very, very
one bad
impressive.
kick pass from Derry before, now a bad kick pass from Carlow, meaning Derry can build. They'll come in a very small wave of 1 girl, and that girl I think is McCloskey, is it? She sends it back and eventually falls into the hands of Caoimhe Dillon, who's been quiet enough in this match so far, but to be fair, the forwards haven't gotten much for Derry. She sends a nice kick pass into space here, might run out a bit too far, just a bit too far there. Again, the kick pass is not working out for Derry, but one thing's safe to say, the kick passing from Carlow this afternoon has been absolutely wonderful, and it has led to some lightning breakouts from their backline. Especially coming from Elaine Ware, the number 8, who's gone off, and this girl here, Ellen Atkinson, this afternoon. She's happy to work the ball up here through Orla Hickey.
Very safe passer of the ball. Super reliable.
Aoife Hayden now to Sawyer. Sawyer looking for movement, gets it. Ball drops there favourably for Derry. They'll come now. Plenty of space here now for Derry, who look for a score at least if they can. There's McCloskey, is it? Running up through the centre, has a bit of space for Borman. The number 5 for Derry has a bit of space and a nice crossfield ball there. There's 2-on-2 here for Derry if they can pick this ball up quickly. And there's a bit of movement inside. She'll go herself. That might fall in just off the post and wide and left. They might as well go for goal at this stage, but not coming. We'd have another substitution here. There's a Derry girl coming on. And there's somebody down as well. I'm not sure for who. I think it's Rihanna Curran coming off. Rihanna Curran coming off here. For Derry, it was number 5, Ruth Birmingham for Carlow, who was down, being checked out there. She looks fine. She's up again. And the next number up, number 6, Ellen Atkinson now with the ball once more, with a beautiful ball in here for Edel Hayden, who's been everywhere since she's come on the second half. Sends it back into Sawyer. Sawyer now 2 on her, finds a bit of space, can send it across if she can, but dealt with well by Derry. Great interception, but the free from before that on Rachel Sawyer, who did very well. Was brought to ground, I think just outside the box. She's lying inside it, but it happened earlier. The referee blowing up for an infringement earlier on.
Rachel's mum used to play for Carlow.
Right.
And her aunties, apparently they all played.
Runs in the blood, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Left and right leg. Showing her skills here. She solos the ball, has scored on her left and her right this afternoon as well.
You'd think she'd go on her left, wouldn't you, from there, just to see? At this stage, you might as well. You've nothing to lose. I would be practicing my left hand freeze.
I'll have to count them up here now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points for Sarah this afternoon, and a goal coming in the first 30 seconds. 5 wides as well. She doesn't lack confidence, that's for sure.
Not, no.
High ball in, but 2 Carlow women waiting for this. Falls in between them, but it is the free scorer, Doyle, who collects. She loses it, falling to the ground. And it's Derry who'll build. That must be the substitute who came in early. Leah Boyce in here for Derry, who must have just come in for Rihanna Kern. Derry will come now up through the hands.
Young Niamh McGlinchey's come on as well, number 19. So they've put double substitution in there. Yep.
Very good. Back to the other substitute, Leah Boyce now on the ball. Carlow putting huge pressure here.
Yeah,
Eddie
look at the
McGuckin.
many behind the ball. That's fabulous defence.
Brown now the captain. With a beautiful ball in, but not dealt with very well. It's Carlow who'll pick up. Again, it's Atkinson who'll pick it up. She's been quieter this half, but the ball hasn't been up to her much, to be fair. She was brilliant in the first half. She deals with it well, and she brings it to her captain, Birmingham. Birmingham with the ball to the centre, and then we'll come out the side here to Edel Hayden. Edel Hayden, who's been absolutely everywhere in the second half since she's come on, does well with it. Beautiful hand pass. She collects again, looks for a bit of movement in the centre. She finds it. There's no major pressure on them. They're happy to keep ball. They're happy to keep it in the hands of Evie and Gilmartin. Beautiful ball across. A bit of a hospital pass here, but collected beautifully by Sawyer. And if that goes over, it's a great score for her. I'm sure she'll be delighted. 4 wides in a row from Rachel. She was definitely looking for a score. She comes in beautifully, collects that ball, which is a dangerous ball. She deals with it the best. And with the wind behind her, beautiful score for her.
What a passage of play. Yeah, that was lovely to watch. Lovely to watch. Earl, have you noticed in the ladies' game, you don't see much fielding of the ball in the middle of the park anymore? You don't see free catching. That seems to have gone out of the ladies' game, which is unfortunate.
I was seeing a lot of pressure coming on. There's some of the better teams. Fermanagh were the first team that really stood out to me, putting pressure, high pressure up, not making it easy. So you have to go short. You have to go with kind of low ball out the wing or the quick kick out. It's hard to just launch it up into the air. That's for sure.
It's not something we coach footballers anymore to do. I don't think though. When we used to play football, we used to coach your high fielding, and we had a couple of players who were fabulous at high fielding the ball. And
would the mark rule work better?
Yeah.
If it was brought in more.
Yeah, I don't know if it would fly in ladies' game. There wouldn't be much of a mark because it's not a lot of people who field, but might encourage it. Yeah, it's just a pity you just don't see it as much anymore.
McGonigal with that chance. I think that's another beautiful score for her.
Yeah, that's a beautiful score from Leah.
Leah with 3 from 3 now. That one up against a very strong wind. She does brilliantly with it. She's been very impressive this afternoon and has played as a defender as well as a forward at certain times.
That's it. She just needs to see more of the ball. It's just a pity she's not on the ball as much.
Great young player.
Yeah.
Aoife Hayden now with another opportunity. Has a bit of space, but look at that for speed from Anna McDade coming back, putting pressure on her.
Anna's a great young, she's a minor captain this year for Derry. She's a fabulous young talent.
She has been brilliant, playing nearly as a midfielder now in the second half. Does well with it, and it's Derry who'll break, but again, I wouldn't bounce the ball on that surface. It's a very mucky surface this afternoon, but they deal with it well. It comes into the hands now of Leah Boyce. Boyce now sends in a ball, but a fumble here from Derry. They'll get a second chance to pick it up. Loose marking, and there's a free given. But we'll play on. We come back for advantage. Derry now looking for a point, maybe a goal as well.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see them getting a goal at this stage, wouldn't it?
It certainly would. I don't think that scoreboard quite reflects what happened this afternoon. Derry have played very well in passages, but that blitz in the first 5 minutes causing all the trouble. 2-3 scored in the first 5 minutes. If you took that out of it, it would be a very different game. But Derry finally getting their tactics in order and playing a lot better since. Now they have a chance coming here. They're inside the 21. Will they be happy with a point? And I think that one might just go to the right and wide. Very difficult angle there for. Might
have been better just to recycle that ball.
Certainly would, but a lot of defenders in there for Carlow as well who look out on their feet at the moment. It's been a tough match. A lot of up and down the field.
Carlow's gone a bit quiet though. All the running must have. Oh, that's a good. Oh, it's it over.
They certainly have, but job done, and a job very well done. Elaine Ware collects the ball. She's been excellent this afternoon. Scored a point as well. The match is over here in Celtic Park. A wonderful game for Carlow. They'll be delighted with that. 2 wins now from 2 after their win against Fermanagh last week. So it'll be Derry versus Fermanagh, and Carlow versus London next week in the 3rd round. But Carlow are safe. Derry with it all to do now with 1 loss and 1 conceded. They'll have a tough outing against Fermanagh, who did beat them in the league. We were at that match. Very good Fermanagh team this year in patches, especially in the forwards there, with some very, very dangerous forwards. So Derry will have a lot to do. Have a lot of work to do over the next week. Do you think they have any chance, or do you think it's a relegation battle for them?
I think it might be a relegation battle for them at the minute. But I think in patches against the Fermanagh team, Derry showed determination and a bit of fight. I think they might just need a few more of their more senior players back into the squad. So, but yeah, I mean, decent enough run out for the young players. I mean, a lot of young minors on the squad at the minute. So, but yeah, Carlow were a class above today. I think that's going to be difficult for Derry to regroup from that. But the sign of a good player is a team that does regroup, takes the learning, and goes again. So let's hope that they take the learning.
At an individual level, I think they were nearly as good in certain places, but the teamwork from Carlow was wonderful today. The tactics, the drive and determination shown from the very off, with a goal scored within 20 seconds, I think. For Carlow, a second goal coming only a few minutes after that. A 2-3 to no score blitz in the first 6 minutes for Carlow. Made it very difficult for Derry, but as we said, they played better, played very defensively. Built on it, but life was not easy for Thomasina Cassidy inside and goal today for Derry, that's for sure. So the scores,
was very busy.
She certainly was, and put under massive pressure, and they tried a different tactic in the second half, which may have worked a little bit better for them, but against that wind it was always going to be very difficult. But they kept them goalless in the second half. They look at that as a positive, especially against that strong wind, and they did well against the very dangerous forwards, and those very dangerous forwards especially today were Rachel Sawyer at number 12 and number 13 Sarah Doyle, who, if you had to pick a woman of the match, not that we do it, would probably have stood out for me anyway.
And number 6 Ellen Atkinson, she was superb in the back line.
They were brilliant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1-5 coming from Sarah Doyle. 1-2 coming from Rachel Sawyer. 2 points from Sinead Hayden. And 2 points from Edel Hayden, who came in the second half. And just 1 wide from her. More points coming from Evie Gilmartin, Orla Hickey, and Elaine Ware, and Ellen Atkinson herself, who scored a point as well. 3 points from 3 coming from Leah McGonigal, who had an outstanding match, did the best she could with the balls she had. And Amy Rose Mulligan for Derry this afternoon. So that's it from us. A big thanks for you watching. Big thanks to my co-commentator Martina McCaffrey here. Disappointed, but the future possibly bright for Derry as well. Thanks for everybody in the office as well. Darren, who's looking after us.
Thanks, Darren.
And poor old Nevin, who's on the camera here and has just about survived. Right. The fingers might be falling off, but he's doing okay.
Good man, Nevin.
So from a wet and blustery Derry, thanks very much for being with us. And Gdín Chiadar Ella, Chóir de Gael, Slán agus Beannacht.